the beginning of the movie Laventure, Anna and Claudia are getting ready for this trip. It's a very exciting trip. And this is my theme music. It's not really like the actual theme music because then it'll just feel like it's like happening in the world. But it seems like this story about like Claudia and Anna going on this trip, and Anna has kind of very mixed feelings about her boyfriend Sandro. They get to the island and Anna swims away and she totally goes missing. And I'm about to completely spoil the movie, okay? So I just want you to like not listen if you haven't watched this movie yet, because Laventure is a wonderful movie. And as soon as you see my logo up here, right here, that's when you can start watching again. So essentially, like Claudia and Sandra are looking for Anna. Anna, where are you? Where are you? They go to a village. They look for her. They never find her. They start to fall in love. You're like, wait. They stop talking about her. They stop searching for her. And now there's like problems in their relationship. And you're like, wait, I thought this was a movie about Anna and Sandra. And now Claudia is like, Claudia, don't forget. What's going? Why are you forgetting your friend? So the moral of this story, because welcome to a weekly update with Andrew, is that sometimes the things that you think are going to happen in the beginning are not the things that actually happen. So this is the kind of weekly update where I tell you about the things that I did this past week, the things that I hope they'll do next week, and one existential or spiritual insight that I gained. So let's start by talking about what I did last week. A dream journal, and so I'm just going to talk about some of the dreams that I had. I had a friend about my friend Kevin, who was on this reality show, and he was showing us this beautiful, beautiful house that he lived in, and all of a sudden I realized he was lying, and it didn't bother me at all. In fact, I thought it was wonderful how effective his lie was. The next night, I was waiting with my kids inside of my childhood car, but I was with my kids. We were spending the night under a huge overpass, a bunch of clovers in the overpass. We were waiting for my dad to arrive and let us know whether or not my mom had had a baby. She decided to let TikTok film the labor and delivery in exchange for them paying the bills. I have a lot of really weird dreams. I watched some good movies. I watched a movie called Buddies, which I'd never seen, from the 80s. It's the first movie about the HIV crisis. And then I watched Pray Away, the new documentary from Netflix, about reparative and conversion therapy for gay people. It was a very emotional experience for me. And then I watched a great movie that Andrew Gates told me to watch. It's called The Kid Detective. It's exactly the tone that I totally love. It made me think of some movies that I love, like The Zero Effect and Benny and June, movies you'll never hear together again. I spent a lot of time preparing for my class, my persuasion class, and trying to hire people. Yeah, this is what it looks like when I'm trying to hire people. It's not great cinema, is it? I spent a lot of time working on my movie Rue, which I hoped that I would, and I did actually get to picture lock, and I established a drop-off point and a drop-off time for my colorist, but I did not write another draft of my new movie. I wrote an overview statement. It says this: I Killed Your Dog. It's a short film about a desperate parent who employs guerrilla tactics to spotlight the biases underlying the school-to-prison pipeline. It does not have the lighthearted comedic tone that I love so much in The Kid Detective, obviously. This next week, I'm going to go visit some of my family, so I'm looking forward to that. I won't get quite as much work done, but I am going to start reaching out to a lot of the cast. I have like a cast of like 26 actors who are in this 13-minute and 30-second film, and I am going to get that second draft done of the movie I Killed Your Dog. I mean, so I had this dream last night where I was leading a trip. I think it was Singapore, possibly it was Jakarta. And I had all these students, and we had contracted with an educational tours company who was taking us to all these kind of simulated performances of culture in the place, and nothing felt real. So I concocted this idea that my students and I would follow random people into celebratory settings and then pretend like we were an American filming crew there to give them an award for the cultural importance of the scene. And they would also be in a competition reality show where they might get voted to be the greatest, cultural scene in Indonesia by people in America. I find that dream to be appalling. Absolutely appalling. What's good about it is that the next part of the dream is that like I accidentally then got got corralled into being on the planning committee for this group of Korean women. There was a Korean diaspora who was either in Singapore or in Jakarta. I'm not sure which one. But like I was gonna have to have breakfasts with these grandmothers over and over again. And I was telling this story to people here in the United States, and they were laughing so hard because I had tried to colonize people with this prank, but in the end, I had ended up being fooled by them, and it wasn't that great. But why would I have a dream like